Hey, what is going on, everybody? I hope everybody is having a beautiful Tuesday morning. Guess what, y'all? We're a week out from the Mountain Summit Virtual. Tim, can you believe that, dude?
I can't believe it because I was like, this will be my second one already, and I'm like mind blown over the fact that it's coming up so quick.
I know it's crazy. It felt just like yesterday that we were going through the one that we had back in February, and um, it's just amazing the amount of how quickly time flies when you're pulling these things together. And it's a privilege to have you with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Tim Gillette. He is our first Legacy year-long sponsor. He joined us back in February for the first time at the Mountain Summit Virtual. I have yet to meet him in person, but we started talking back in January, and he was a part of the Movement Maker Virtual. And a good friend of mine told me I needed to get in touch with Tim Gillette. And before I could even reach out to him, Tim reached out to me. And we had a beautiful conversation. And right away, I felt a instant connection with this guy, and he jumped in and then became our year-long legacy sponsor. And so we're going to have a 10-minute conversation here so everybody can get to know Tim and what he's all about, and why he jumped all in with the Mountain Summit Virtual. So Tim, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I don't like talking about myself, but I guess I will for you, because you're so great. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Tim Gillette. I'm just an average guy who lives in Denton County, Texas, and have been through a lot of things in my life as far as what I do and how I handle life. And my family grew up blue collar family, automotive, truck driving type thing, very blue collar type family, and I loved cars growing up. I loved trucks. I loved things like that growing up because it was in the family thing. And in the late 1990s, I left Pennsylvania and moved to Dallas, Texas, where I live now. And I had my last automotive business in 2004. I sold that, and while leaving that, I had a great client and a great friend of mine who I went to church with and got to know very well before he passed in 2012, and that was Zig Ziglar. Zig was a very good friend of mine, and I knew Zig the person. I didn't know Zig the speaker. Where most people, go, "Oh yeah, I seen Zig on stage." It's like I seen Zig on stage very rarely, but he taught me an awful lot of things about life, and in the very few times that we got to spend together, he taught me about life and taught me about how to respect and help others. And at that point in time, I had been attending self-help type seminars and before they were actually called webinars and things like that. I've been attending them since 1986. It wasn't until 2009 that I got into the industry to be a teacher myself, and started doing it as a unique thing called Rocker Life Coach, and was sharing just things that mattered to me in a rock and roll type environment, which I'm not really a rocker. I'm not really a musician at all. I'm a mechanic. If anything, I can fix things, but I'm not something who can. I'm not someone who can play guitar. As a matter of fact, I can't play those guitars, but I built that one. So that's something about me. I can build it. I just can't play it. I've kind of loved to enjoy life, and I love helping people. My passion, really, that I love helping people is helping people help others solve problems and build a business out of it. And it's something I became very, very passionate about as an entrepreneur in the 1990s. Pretty much my entire life. When I go back to even when I was a kid, I realized 9 years of age when my dad got laid off that I didn't want to work a job for somebody else. And while I may not have said it at 9 years old, that part of my brain clicked. And I can tell you the night it happened. I can tell you what happened that night. I can tell you my dad's pickup truck he drove home that night, everything. It's just so cemented in my mind. And it was that point on that I became an entrepreneur. I did not believe the system worked. And every evidence in my life pointed to it, and everything my parents did to have me tested couldn't figure out what it was. It wasn't until I met some people in a multi-level marketing, network marketing type thing in the 1990s that I understand and put the pieces together in my life through self-help seminars and realizing, oh my God, I'm an entrepreneur. That's why I can't hold a job. So that's Tim in a nutshell.
I love that, Tim. And that's the reason why I wanted to ask you that is I want everybody in YouTube land and Facebook land to know who the person is who's backing our movement, because that's one of the favorite things is for, I know you personally because we've been working together now since February with you helping us out, redesigning the website and jumping in on the movement of new beginnings with the Mountain Summit virtuals. And like we were talking about back in the beginning, we're doing our 7th climb here. We're doing our 7th summit. That's insane. Like we did 5 back in 2025. We did our first one of 2026 back in February. And now we're getting ready to do our second one in a week. Mm-hmm. And this one is very close and deep and personal to myself because April marks 8 years since the passing of my brother, which when this summit ends, it's 11 days after that we lost my brother. And so what I wanted to ask you, the question, who are you standing for on this summit? Who are you bringing in your heart to the mountain to, you don't have to give your entire talk here, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you came in February and when you're coming back to the mountain for this summit, when you come into the base camp and you're sharing your story and you're bringing your vulnerability and courage, why do you come to something like this?
Well, again, I've been in the self-help industry for ages, it seems like. And most people don't understand. If you understand the true framework behind what, in my opinion, that the self-help industry belongs in, we're all going through, can I say the word crap and without being too, we're all going through some crap in our lives. We all have been through something. And the truth is you either made it out the other side or you're still dealing with it, right? Those people who decide that I'm going to go through it and go out the other side, once you do, to continue to heal in your own life, you have to reach back and grab someone's hand who's coming through it. So I'm all about joining movements that are helping people get through something, right? In your case, you're helping getting people through loss, helping people get through something because you're going through it yourself. I mean, I was part of a life enrichment seminar back in 2003. That's exactly what they were designed to do. The program was all lined out so it worked to help people. You were doing that. You were helping people. This movement is helping people. And many of the people on yours, David, all right, are going through something that's a lot tougher than an entrepreneur going through, how do I get my marketing right? You understand what I mean? You're going through something that's more devastating. And on the other side of it, you can come out, write a book about it. All right. You can create a self-help program. You can do a summit of your own to help people once you've come out and healed. Now, here's the truth of your movement is we're not ever entirely healed, but you're 2 steps further down the line than someone else. And you better be reaching back and help them. And I know some of the things you're going through, I shared my story last month, is something I've been going through for years. It's something that battles me for years. And I thought when I came to your summit, just maybe someone else needed to hear my story and understand there's hope that tomorrow can be better. And that's why I joined this movement. It's why I thought I needed to be a part of it. It's why I put my money down and said, you know what, I'm here to back something like this because it is doing exactly the mission statement I am involved in my life, and it's helping other people help other people.
And I'm truly grateful for that because men and women of all kinds, but men like you, Tim, is why I built this community and I built this movement because I knew after the passing of my brother, I had to do something and I had to pay it forward. And, as difficult as it was, and it still is to navigate the life, without Joe, um, this is developed into something that I never expected. And to have you as one of our sponsors, as the main legacy sponsor behind this movement, is something that I am eternally grateful and I take very personal. And I can't thank you enough for that. In closing, for everybody that's watching on our YouTube channel and on Facebook, if you're going through what myself and Tim and everybody you've heard over the last 13 months of stories from over 150 speakers that have been on this platform, if you're on the fence and you're ready to join the summit and you want to start moving forward and building that legacy for yourself while honoring the legacy of your loved ones, what would you tell them to come and hang out with us for the couple days next week to join in on the summit with us?
Guys, if you're listening to this and you're on the fence of this, you're going to be on the fence of a lot of things in your life. I always tell people when they come up to me, go, Tim, how do I solve this problem? Take action, right? Come be around, all right? Spend, invest, I think it's a very minimal investment to be part of the VIP room where you get to come in there and ask questions of the speaker, all right? Get to actually connect with them. Just do it, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to tell you, when you're around people who've been through what you're going through, you're gonna suddenly feel community. You suddenly feel like it's okay, like God's got me in his cradle for a moment. And sometimes that's what you need. All right. And I've not always had high times in my life. I had a lot of low times. And it's the low times that you don't want to go to those things. And it's usually there. I usually go, I schedule things in my life, so I have to be there next week. Right. So if I'm having a bad day, it doesn't matter. I have to still show up. And I show up, and usually that's when I need it the most. Invest a little bit of time, a little bit of money, a little bit of money, all right, and take a chance on a better life. That's my catch on that.
I appreciate you, Tim. Number one, for helping me spread the legacy of my brother Joe. Help you spread the legacy of those who you have lost. Ladies and gentlemen, I can guarantee you this: we have over 40 powerful men and women who will be making a climb next Tuesday and Wednesday. And you'll be hearing Mr. Gillette's story next week. And the investment to be in the VIP room is low. And I do that intentionally because there are a lot of communities out of there that charge thousands of dollars to get into a VIP room. And I didn't want to do that because with what we deal with, it's something that is very deep and personal. And I take that personally. So once this live ends, I will put the link to our event page where you can look through, and it has the Basecamp VIP option, which will give you access to our Zoom room. I want to strongly encourage you to join us next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, starting at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, to hear some incredible, powerful, deeply personal stories that I promise you will change your life. It's changed my life 7 times over. And Tim, I want to thank you for spending your brief 10 minutes with us this morning because I know you're insanely busy today, but I appreciate